How you doing, guys? It's your boy Nando, and this is the Pound for Pound Boxing Show in association of Seconds Out Coffee. Today, got a very special guest, boxing prospect John Hedges is going to join us today. We're going to talk a lot to talk about his last fight and what the future holds for him.
How's it going? You all good?
How you doing, John? You right?
Yeah, keeping well. Thank you, mate.
First of all, I want to say thank you for taking your time to speak to us today.
No, you're more than welcome. Thank you for having me on it.
Anytime, mate. Anytime. Just, I want to start off by saying congratulations on your dominating performance last weekend in Austria against a very tough opponent and very dominating performance. Just give us your analysis of your performance that night.
Yeah, do you know what? I boxed Frane Radnic, and he's been about. He won his first 11. He knocked his first 10 out. So he obviously had punch power. He's boxed the likes of Sebastian Formella. He boxed Anthony Ogogo. He boxed some brilliant names. So it was a name I wanted on my card. He's not like your average journeyman. He's not really a journeyman, some people could say, because he's been about that level. He won a Croatian title, and he's been about the top level. So it was always like a step up fight for a lot of champions. So I felt like it'd be a good one for me, especially in just my first fight. And yeah, it all went to plan. I had a massive height advantage on him. He wasn't much lighter than me. It was only like a kilogram, but it looked massive on the telly. Like it looked like a crazy size difference. But I'm big for the weight, and yeah, it was a good learning fight. To be honest with you, I could have probably upped it and took him out there, but it was my first 6-rounder, and I was just doing as my cornerman said, Mark Tibbs, and he just wanted to cruise the fight, not get hit, and just win comfortably.
Brilliant. Obviously, you mentioned the names that he's been in the ring with
Oh,
before, and for your third fight, that is a massive step up for yourself. And obviously, you said you could have got him out of there, but getting those rounds in is very important this stage of your career, this early in your career. Would you agree with that?
definitely, exactly that. Rounds are important, and at the end of the day, if you're taking these fighters out, you don't know what your next fight's going to be. You might get put into the trenches, and you've never done the rounds, and you don't know. So obviously, if the opportunity comes, you should take it. But in this sort of fight, he was small. I was in no trouble at all. But I could have put myself in trouble by lowering myself and trying to get the knockout. So it worked best for me just to keep it long, keep it simple, and just do what I do best really in box.
Did you have to train any different for this up and coming fight, or was it always was it always the same game plan compared to the first two opponents?
To be fair, so like it's the same with normally all of my opponents. Cause I don't really know who I'm fighting until about 10 days before. It's normally quite short notice, but I know I'm fighting. So as long as I'm prepared, um, I don't really mind. But when I see him, I was a bit wary of his knockout power because obviously whether it was back or not, you don't lose your power with age. Like your power was the last thing to go. So I wanted to be a bit wary. But as soon as I started seeing the size of him, really, especially from the amateur career, the one thing I was always big at the weight and always could box. So I knew it was just going to have to be that sort of performance. And I didn't want to get tangled up and look scruffy. I just wanted it to be a shutout victory and nice and clear and just get the 6 rounds in and be comfortable.
Brilliant. Obviously, your first two fights were in front of the UK crowd in the UK. First time you've, as a pro, boxed outside the UK. What was it like being in Austria, and what's the Austrian crowd like?
You had Hergovic obviously as the main fighter, so he brought probably I'd say it was at least 3,000 to 4,000 Croatian fans. So it was quite nice to be in front of them. And they were nice people. Do you know what I mean? I can't knock it. Austria is an absolute beautiful country. We were staying in Klagenfurt, so it was like the other side of Austria. It was like not near Vienna, complete opposite, but it was really nice. It was like a Lake District sort of thing. Had that sort of feel to it. But it was a nicer venue, massive football stadium, so a big experience as well. So early on, and yeah, it was good, man. And Eddie flew out on fight night. And it was good just to see Eddie before I boxed and things like that. It was spot on. Yeah, it was. I'll tell you what it was. It was good because it was only me, Dalton Smith, and John Ryder. There was only us three fighters there from Matchroom. So it was nice. You know what I mean? Like English Matchroom, sorry.
Brilliant. I interviewed your coach, Mark Tibbs, the other night. He said that he was very impressed with your performance and your journey so far. He said that obviously he doesn't want to put you in the deep end just yet. He wants to take his time with you. What's it like being coached by someone like Mark Tibbs, who's achieved it all in boxing, and someone that's like a future Hall of Famer?
Do you know what? It's unbelievable. Mark's a great coach, but even better person. We got a good connection. We're all mates up there. Do you know what I mean? We're not a big stable. There's 4 or 5 fighters in this stable, and he doesn't like taking on boxing. He only takes on the boys who he actually thinks going to do something. He don't want to be a busy gym. He just wants to have his few fighters who we can just push forward, take our time, but push and have an end goal. And yeah, Mark's brilliant. And obviously with Mark, you get your dad Jimmy, and he's getting older now, but he's still in the gym. Like my last session yesterday was just one-on-one with Jim, and the knowledge is unbelievable. If they like literally, I was saying to another interviewer before, if they told me to do a 20-kilometer run before a fight, I'd literally do it because you trust everything that comes out their mouth. If you don't think it makes sense, you still do it because they've been there and done it. So their belief in you gets another 10% for sure.
Brilliant. Mark said that you're only 19. Obviously, as a 19-year-old, your body's going to get bigger and you're going to go wider as well. You're a natural super middleweight. You've gone to light heavyweight. He believes that you have the height and the build to even go to future cruiserweight. At the moment, do you feel comfortable at light heavyweight? Is this the weight that you feel more comfortable in right now?
To be honest, yeah, super middleweight is definitely not seeing me again. I struggled too much in my debut to make it, so I'll be honest with you. I tempered with it. I thought I'll make championship weight for my debut, prove the point, and I probably shouldn't have done. But listen, live and learn. As soon as I went to Mark, he was like, "You're fighting at light heavy." I walked in the scales. I was weighing cruiser anyway, so it was like you've got to do light heavy. You ain't getting that weight off. And to be fair, I'm a naturally like not very mature kid. Like I'm a very big frame and tall and that, but I'm not very muscly at all yet. So it's going to be a long time, I think, because it's natural maturity. I've got strength in my punches, but the build of you, the man build, is going to come with age. So I don't want to rush it, but I know by the time I start getting my man strength down, I'm going to be cruiser for sure.
Brilliant. Obviously, you're managed by S-Jam as well, Sam Jones, and by looking at the stable at S-Jam, the likes of Lerone Richards, Marku, Joe Joyce, Johnny Fisher, who else is there? Solomon Dakries. Seeing how far they've
Guido.
progressed in their career, does that give you inspiration to achieve what they've achieved so far?
Yeah, it's massive, man. Especially like you just said there, they're all in your stable, so they're your family. The group chats are all in. When you box, you got Big Joe on the phone to you, like wishing you good luck. It gives you that extra percent, and honestly, at such a young age, it can't get no better. And yeah, any advice you ever need when you've got so many different fighters in that stable, you've got Johnny Fisher who's the same as me, 3-0. But then you've got Lerone Richards, British champion. Then you've got Guido who fights abroad, so he can give you that bit of there's advice from all angles. So it's unbelievable. And obviously you've got Sam Jones, Adam Morrell, Shane Watson. I think they're probably the best in business. I really do because it's personal with them. It's not like you go through 5 different names. They ring you personally, you FaceTime, you talk about things, and it reassures you.
It must be good to be managed by Sam Jones as well. You know, when it comes to business, he's serious, but you know, he can be your friend at the same time. He can be a joker. If someone is not good even on the mic, he can speak for you as well. What's it like to be managed by Sam Jones?
Yeah, Sam's a good man, mate. To be fair, see Sam, like you just said there, he's your friend as well. When you talk about opponents, like even things like that, it's not like, John, you're fighting him. This is what's happening. It's like, do you want to? Does that suit you? Is that opponent what you've been training for? It's that extra little bit personal what you do need, especially being young. Like I always go back to that because I had loads of amateur experience, but at the end of the day, I'm giving away. Like last fight, I gave away 17 years. It's not people say it don't matter, but it does in the long term. It does matter. So it's nice to have the reassurance that you're training for the right opponent and you're in there with the right person and you've got the right team coming there with you.
There's a little joke that they call him Eddie Hearn 2.0. Can you see Sam
Yeah,
in the future becoming a big promoter as well, apart from management?
Sam's gonna. Yeah, he's. I believe the way he goes on and the way he carries himself, he's gonna get his as I said, like eggs in every basket. So he's gonna be. Yeah, someone's definitely gonna hit him up. And listen, I won't blame him if the money's right and it's a job what he likes. He should move on and push forward. So, but I definitely think so. And massive thing though is with S-Jam, there's the other co-founder Adam Morrell. Brilliant. He is like they're both as good as each other. Sam's the voice, but Adam behind the scenes is unbelievable. So yeah, big shout out to Adam as well.
Brilliant. Let's talk about one of your S-Jam stable mates. He's fighting this weekend on the AJ Usyk on the card. Probably his toughest test yet. He's fighting for his first belt, IBF International welterweight title against an undefeated Maxime Prodain. 19 wins, 1 draw, 15 KOs. It's going to be fireworks. How do you see this fight going?
Mate, it's a hard fight, isn't it? For especially for Florian, he's 9-0. I know he's got a draw on his record as well, but he's not very experienced in the pros. But listen, he believes in himself, and I honestly believe him. I think with the attitude he carries, I'm close with Florian, very close, and the, you learn a lot from Florian because he does not believe no one will beat him. You could put him in with Tyson Fury, and he honestly will believe he will beat him. And I think see that can beat any fighter. When you're that mindset and you're that strong in the mind, and he trains very hard as well. I think he'll be his 9. I think he's really going to shine. He puts himself on the map. Do you know what I mean with this fight? That Proden seems. I don't know a lot about him, but he seems like a strong fellow. I can't lie. Like his record don't lie, and do you know what I mean? He's got some good names, so I'd like to see Florian shine on Saturday night. I'm looking forward to that.
Brilliant. And do you think it works for his advantage as well, being at that big stage? It prepares him in the future when he has that big fight and he main events somewhere like Tottenham Stadium or a stadium in Albania?
Yeah, definitely. Like Florian can sell a ticket. Literally, if he had a fight in Albania, it's crazy that the support he gets is ridiculous. He will sell out any arena. If Eddie would let him, honestly, I think he would do about 10,000 tickets in Tottenham. It's crazy. They'd all fly over. They don't leave him behind. So if he gets through this one, there's definitely some massive nights ahead for Florian. 100%.
I was literally about to say that because there's 60,000 fans on Saturday. I would not be shocked if there's 5 to 10,000 Albanian fans there for him.
Definitely. I remember I was with him actually at the zone party, and Eddie was like, "Don't start asking me for loads of tickets, Florian." And he was like, "Please," he was begging him. He said, "Because there's no turning them back." He said, "As soon as they see the fight day, they'll wait up at the venue if they have to." It's a loyal following, and fair play to him.
Amazing. And does that as well? Does that give you inspiration as well? How many fans he can get, and you build up your fan base as well?
Yeah, definitely. And I think what he's done is right. He's a big name over in England, but he's not forgot about his home. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, where you're from, even if it's just a village, you want people to look up to you and aspire you're local and the people around you the most. So he's done exactly right. When he goes home, he does a lot for his country, and obviously he puts himself out there and he's paying off for him. It's fair play to him.
Yeah, I saw him at the Joe Joyce Takam fight. You'd be surprised how many people swarmed him for pictures.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? I didn't even know. We went to that DAZN party and it was the exact same there. Every like press or things like that, they wanted him. They wanted to know more. So he's entertaining. He's selling tickets and he's putting the views on the telly. So he's everything well promoted once.
Yeah, 100%. I think the 3 biggest names right now in the UK who are non-English is him, Babbage, and Ebony Bridges. The fan base they have built is so impressive. It's unreal.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
How big are they in their country?
I know. It's crazy. That is crazy, isn't it? When you actually sit and think about it, they've done exactly what they set out to do. Ebony lost. Like, I'm real close with Ebony as well because she was coming down marks for a little while training while she was in England. So we was just talking to her like the impact she's had on boxing, and she lost. Do you know what I mean? So she lost the fight and picked up 200,000 followers. It's unheard of. It's ridiculous.
It's amazing.
But good on her. Marketing's brilliant.
Hopefully it'll be one of the, if not the fight of the night on Saturday. You never know.
Mate, do you know what? I actually expect it. I'd be fair. See, Florian, if that Prodan comes out swinging, Florian will meet him in the middle, 110%. His boxing ability, I believe, is unbelievable, but he's a natural fighter, so he won't let himself get pushed back. Fingers crossed he gets the job done.
100%. Let's talk about the main event. Anthony Joshua against Usyk. I personally believe it's a 50-50 fight. A lot of people are not giving Usyk a chance. What's your prediction and why?
You know what? I'm about to say the exact same thing. A lot of people are just seeing like Usyk's not even in the fight, but I don't understand that. They're looking at the Derek Chisora performance like he's going to perform the same against Joshua. Do you know what I mean? That Derek Chisora lays on you, he smothers you. It's a complete different fight. If Joshua tries standing up and boxing, I don't believe you beat Usyk with skills. I can't see that happening. But if he lands, then I want to see how Usyk takes that power. Obviously 10-ounce gloves, and he's a big man, Joshua, and he looks like he's even bigger for this fight. To be fair, he looks like not bigger, sorry, leaner. He looks like he's even sharper. So I'd like to say I think Joshua round 8 to 9, like late round stoppage, but there's no telling. If Usyk survives, I think you've got a great chance of points, really big chance of points.
After this, obviously, we've got the other fight, the trilogy. Do you give Wilder any chance in this fight, or is it the same as the second fight?
I'm a massive Fury fan, so I really want to. Yeah, I've got to say, I think Fury takes him out again, but I think it's a better fight. I think it's going to be a real edgy fight to start with. Wilder's took his camp a lot more serious by the looks of things, and I think he'll probably go the distance. To be honest, he might not even get a stoppage. So I think it's going to be one that goes the distance, but I think Fury will win. I think it'll be too big again, too awkward. At the end of the day, if you can't reach him, you can't hit him. So
Either way, I hope two great main events this Saturday and October 9th. I want two
definitely, I'm looking forward to it. It's nice to have a good bit of boxing on.
100%. Obviously, Mark, I spoke to Mark the other night. He said he wants to take his time with you on the opponents. But looking at your last opponents, who he shared the ring with, it's not. I think it's fair to say that maybe your next few fights will be some hard tests for you. I just want to bring up some names and just your thoughts. I'm not trying to get you to call anyone out. Just your thoughts on these opponents that if you feel ready that maybe next year you can share the ring with them. The likes of Sean Hare, Ezra Taylor, even a Lewis Edmondson. Do you see yourself sharing the ring with them eventually?
I'll be blatantly honest now. Then this is no disrespect to the fighters. The first two I don't really know. Louis Edmondson, I'm a real good mate with him. I sparred. He used to be my sparring partner. So me, me and Louis, we got on. Oh, hold on. I think me.
All right. For me, AirPods are gone there. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Louis Edmondson, I'm really close with. Done loads of rounds with. And listen, if they chuck some big money at us, I'm sure he would want the fight as well. So, Louis is a good mate. And like I say, we've had some good rounds together. But the first two, no, I'm not sure they were. So I wouldn't like to really say too much. But definitely, I want to push forward in my career. But at the minute, just purely because of my age, I've got full faith in my ability. But I know where I want to be and I know where I can be. So I don't want to rush things, but I don't want to take silly journeyman. I don't want people with 100 losses, 200 losses. Personally, I don't see the point in that. I think I've done that in the amateurs. I've done that experience learning and that gaining. I've got my ring craft. But people like Frane Radnic, who I boxed last time, a few knockouts on their card, quite a few wins, and not too many loses. Do you know what I mean? And that's the type of opponents I want to be fighting, like the 50-50 boys, but with a lot more than like 5-1, 5 lost 5. Let's go for the 1-10 lost 10 maybe. Do you know what I mean? So they're just past going to be in potential.
Yeah.
And have a couple more of them and then slowly build up. A few more 6-rounders in the bank and just see where we're at the time. But definitely I will be pushing on. I think by the time I'm 21, I'd like to take some big names.
Brilliant. Just one more name I want to bring up as well. Obviously, he's got his sights on a YouTuber, but I'm sure he deals with him. He'll come back into the light heavyweight scene. Mr. Tommy Fury, what's your thoughts on a future fight with that?
Mate, do you know what? I'd love that. Yeah, I can't lie. That's one fight I would love, yeah. Because it would sell massively. Tommy will tell you himself, he's not massively experienced in boxing. He didn't do much in the amateurs. Obviously, he's a fighting family. I'll give him that fair credit to him. And he's a very good fighter, and he's doing very good for himself. But a fight like that, I would never turn down. I'll take that. The money they're making, I'll take that tomorrow. I'll take that with a heartbeat. Do you know what I mean? So, no, listen, he's a good fighter, Tommy. But everyone's dreaming. Do you know what I mean? The whole light heavyweight division want that fight, and I think it's obvious why we all do because the experience ain't there. But listen, he's doing well for himself. He's doing very well for himself, and hopefully he gets the YouTube fight and makes millions of money. So
brilliant. If Sam and Eddie sees this, hopefully they can make a future fight with you.
You know, didn't you? Have to be done.
And how excited are you as well? Obviously, we don't know if by the time you are ready for your first title, whether you be cruiserweight or light heavyweight. But let's stick to the light heavyweight. How excited are you that in the future you can be into that mix with the Shakan Pitters, the Yards, the Lyndon Arthurs, the Joshua Buatsis, maybe a Callum Johnson if he's still around by then. But how excited are you to be into that mix eventually?
Mate, it's exciting. It's really exciting. To be fair, I want to spar the big names. I'm not saying I'm going to beat them. I'm not saying I'm going to get anywhere near them, but I want to be in the ring. I want to be in the mix with them now. And it's good experience. I sparred Craig Richards for my last, not this fight, just gone the fight before that. And it's good mixing with that level because that's who I want to be in with. And at the end of the day, I enjoy my boxing. So the better the name, the better it is for me. I don't care if I take an iodine, give them an iodine, whatever it is. It's sparring. Everyone has a good day, everyone has a bad day. So yeah, I'd love to mix with them names, but to be up there fighting with them, 100%. I'm big, I'm rangy. Just gotta get my man strength, and that's the only thing. As soon as I get that, I know I'll be a force.
Brilliant. And is John Hedges the one that's going to put the British cruiserweight back on the map as well? Because obviously Lawrence Okoli eventually is going to go to heavyweight. Doesn't really leave a lot of people in the cruiserweight division. If you do go to cruiserweight, do you want to be the man to put Britain back on the map with the cruiserweight division?
Mate, most definitely, most definitely. You look at Okoli, he's 6'6", he's a massive cruiser. Time I fill out, I think I'm going to look the same. I'm going to be the same sort of build. I'm not going to be. Okoli's no big stocky fighter. He's a very lean, long armed, very long legged, rangy fighter. And I believe that's what I'm going to be when I come to the cruiserweight division. It's going to be a long time yet, and I've got to mature. But definitely, that's what I'll be looking my sights on and bring some excitement back. And do you know what I mean? Let's bring some interest to the sport again of the cruiserweights.
Brilliant. We look forward to that.
Cheers,
Mark Tibbs obviously said that he would love to see you at least another one in the ring once or at least twice again this year. Is there any fight news, any potential dates that you might be back in the ring?
I'd like to think November. I spoke to my management, and we'll look at a date in November. It'd be nice to get back out. Once would do me. Twice would be unbelievable. So it's I get it though. We're on big cards, and Matchroom's a massive platform, and they haven't got the shows all the time. They can't get everyone out. But I spoke to Eddie, and yeah, hopefully a fight in November, even if it's early December. Get me out before the end of the year, and I'll be happy.
I'm sure Tommy is free.
Yeah, you know, don't you? We'll drive to him. Nah, it'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be very good.
John, before I let you go, do you have a message for your fans that tune in and travel to your fights, your first two fights, and even travel to Austria for yourself? Do you have a message for them and the ones that tuned on the zone as well?
Yeah, keep following the journey. It's going to be big, and we got hopefully our first one back at home. My first two fights were in lockdown, so I didn't get to come. So the next fight there'll be tickets, and I want to see everyone there. And it's going to be great. It's going to be a good night of boxing. You're going to see a livelier performance, and let's do it. Do you know what I mean? We're on the best platform possible, so let's make it happen.
Brilliant. John, I want to say thank you for taking your time to speak to me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I can't wait to see more of your journey in the light heavyweight and the cruiserweight division and big fights ahead in the future.
Thank you very much. No, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, mate.
Thank you. Take care and stay safe.
Take care. Nice one, mate. Take care.
Thank you.